Alright, perfect. Let me just start getting some notes down for a thing. You'll understand. So, where we all left off. You had just woken up. You had just woken up deep inside some sort of underground temple. Apparently you all had been dead. And a goddess had talked to you and said that she brought you back to be her champions. You fought a giant spider on your way out, and some of you got gravely injured. And you are now, just after the fight, contemplating what moves to do next with the outside world just beyond the mouth of the cave you are standing in. What would you like to do? Yeah. You're all still injured. You haven't had a rest yet. I will point that out. All right. So you're going to take a rest with 2 watches then? Sounds like. Alright. Well, just let me know who's going to be taking first watch, second watch, third watch, I suppose. You're in a... It's strange. I'm going to have you roll a perception check for this one. No. It's a large chamber. Okay. I will want you to roll a perception check. I'm going to give you specifically advantage. That's understandable. Oh, I completely get that. Not as much as I have. Not yet. Okay. Yes. Yes. In the minutes after the fight, where everyone's kind of catching their breath, resting themselves, trying to figure out what to do next, your ears perk up as you hear the plink, plink, plink of dripping water near the edge of the cave, and you wander away from the group. Almost, it's like someone's in a trance. It's more of an ADHD hyperfixation on something you caught your attention, and you see in one of the corners there's a stalagmite that is currently dripping into a small kind of quarter-sized pool. Small, but there's some water. You could, it's like a foot pool. It's not too big, but you can put some part of your body in it. It's one of the only things moving in the cave, so I'd say, yeah. Alright. It's it's a slow drip, so it will take some time, but you do get some cold spring water. What was the perception check you got? 14? I'd say you do after like a little bit. You feel something like drilling into the back of your head, and you glance back, and there's this Gora. Roll an insight check. You, Marcosi. Just because this will be funny. No. Yeah, it's just a stuffed animal. It's just a little teddy bear. So it would seem. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before resting? Alright. May I have whoever's doing first watch roll a perception check? It's probably going to be Marcosi. Okay. Alright. You are wide awake, and you don't notice anything besides your troop of strange traveling companions. Venator, while you're asleep, you find yourself in a massive hall. It's like a hunting lodge. It's very full of people, and there's a massive fire at one end, and all these braziers and furs and mounted heads. And for as big as the place is, it feels compact and cozy, like someplace someone would go on vacation to up in Alaska. It feels familiar to you. Like you recall this place, and as you're looking around, you're remembering details you didn't even think you knew, and you recognize people, and all sorts of people. It is full of hunters, you would assume, wearing different states of armor and dress and various armaments about them, and they all seem to be reveling. But you stand at the doorway, observing this whole scene, and you get a sense of feeling not at home, but like a stranger. And it confuses you. That's all. Second shift. Alright, roll a perception check. When you're awoken, you're used to sleeping hard places. You're rested well enough, and this entire situation has put you on edge to a point that every passing insect catches your attention, and you mark it and note it and keep an eye. Nothing seems to happen, but you are keenly aware of every detail in the cave right now. Third watch, if we will, just to round it all out. Alright. Perception, all the same. Nothing seems to happen your watch either. It seems, aside from the howling of wind as the sun reaches late afternoon outside, everything seems normal, as if the outside world does not even know this cave exists. And with the end of your watch, is there something you wanted to do? Alright. There's something about the syringe, because you feel like this should hurt. But it doesn't. Not yet. And with that, your shift comes to an end, and everyone starts waking up in their own way and time. Good morning, campers. It's like a really simple wizard's robe. Imagine like that. That is true. Gora, you feel pleased with yourself for having had such a lovely conversation with someone. Marcosi, you're confused. Mike, I don't... Mike. Yeah. Do you feel like you'd have experience doing this before? Roll a dexterity check for me. Straight dexterity, with proficiency. You're doing pretty well. It's like you take a few tries, you know, your hands moving around a lot, but you're balancing a dagger on your fingertips. Feels familiar, like you've done this to show off before. You want to try and balance your own dagger? Straight dexterity. Surprisingly, you're doing about as well as Mike is. How long does Swarm of Familiars last? Let me check. Yes. Flock of Familiars. It lasts up to an hour. So the vultures have vanished throughout the night. It's because Find Familiar is permanent. It lasts indefinitely, but this is you're summoning 3, and it's the same. Well, it's second level, so. Yeah. Yeah. So your vultures are gone for the time being. As you're sitting in the cave, there's a crack of thunder outside, and it rings throughout the empty stone cavern. And you get the feeling that maybe you should stay here for much longer. With your previous perception check, this is a pretty bare stone chamber, with some stone scattered about, but not the best place, no good places to hide. Unless you hide, actually, the biggest thing to hide behind is actually Andromeda. Yes. Do you want to hide behind the big spider corpse? Do you want to try and look at harvesting spider meat? Roll a survivor check. Survival check. And tell me what implement you'll use. And tell me what implement you use, too. Andromeda, how are you reacting to watching this? So, Meg, as you carve into the spider, you find there's some sort of like fuzzy, sticky goo in some of it, especially around the head. And you determine this is some sort of fungus that's probably infected the spider. And your determination is that makes it unsafe to eat. How long do you have your hands in the mold? Roll a Constitution saving throw. As you're squishing around, I'm not even going to finish describing this, but rest assured, if I wanted to describe this in detail, I could. And that is a threat. I can... Zippy and Oreo are, yeah, they're hiding. Your arms have begun to go numb. And as you start to pull your arms back, there are strings of this mold that have stuck to your skin like melted cheese. Alright, I'm just going to make a note of this and carry on. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I think Mike is taking comfort in the fact that the jerky is extremely hard and tough and not at all squishy. Speaking of which, the jerky is very dry. No, say it. Oh no. Alright. Well, do let me know what you do with that Gora. So you're leaving it, are you leaving it on your hands? Okay, good. That's what I needed to know. You... yeah. Well, do you have anything to burn? Gora, you did take 3 points of poison damage over the course of that minute. Occasionally, it's roll a wisdom saving throw. Although the lightning initially scared you, there's something different about the way it is right now. It's just lightning. It's almost dry. It's not even raining right now. And for some reason, the fact that there are no other sounds accompanying this storm comforts you in the idea that it's not what you thought it was, but you don't know what you thought it was, but it's not that. Yes. I would like both of you to roll perception checks, just because I want to see which one of you is better. An 8. It looks outside, it looks big rolling clouds. It's a dry thunderstorm. You can see in the far distance where it is raining, but in front of you, you seem to be nestled in the corner. You seem to be nestled a bit in the mountains, and beyond you lies these worn, scarred hills. Not much in the way of trees and plant life, but not harsh stone. They're rolling hills of discolorations. The clouds are moving in kind of a easterly direction. Moving away from you and away from the mountain range you find yourselves in. You watch, and you do see a flash of lightning out in the distance. And as you look out, and beyond the nearby hills that are in front of you, there are plains and fields, and they kind of stretch far, and you see settlements. There's one really close to you in the hills described, the scarred and discolored hills at the foot of the mountains you find yourselves in. And deeper into fields, you can see movement, maybe a couple wagons and small patches of trees. The larger world lies outside the cave. You see much the same. Gora, did you just say Emmerich is the most normal? Andromeda says being the tallest of the wings and Venator, the purple tiefling. You generally know what you are. You think? You have an inclination towards what you are, yeah. You're aware that both of you would be considered elves. You, Marcosi, are aware that you have a strong inclination towards the water. They're still moving. It's a large cloud formation. But you get kind of everyone who wants to, maximum of 3, roll nature checks. Yeah. Gracie's just walking out into the storm. Perfect. So, Masozi just starts walking out, and Venador... Well, first I'm going to start. Gora, you look at the clouds, and you get lost in their movements before you just like... Wait, what was the question again? And you look at Emmerich. Emmerich, do you know what they were asking about? And he doesn't tell you because he's being cheeky, and he's like... Just... He wasn't listening either. He lets you know he wasn't listening either. But, Venator, you kind of get the idea that the likelihood of a random person being struck by lightning because they have a piece of metal on them is so infinitesimally low that the DM doesn't even have dice to account for it. Masozi. 3 M names in this. Mike. Oh no. No, you didn't. I can roll to see if... No, you don't get struck by lightning. Like I said... I imagine Gora is holding Emeric right next to his head. Down the mountains you go. Now, you do recall seeing... Now... I think it was Venator or Mike, one of you who rolled a perception check to look outside. I thought that would have been Venator. Perception. Okay, then Andromeda. You recall that there looked to be some sort of settlement with, you know, farmlands and such nearby in the hills at the base of the mountains you find yourself in. So for your quest you've been sent on, it may be good to go somewhere civilized. Masozi, roll me a d8. Masozi? Roll me a d8, please. A d8. Nope, just a d8. Masozi is heading... Andromeda, you notice Masozi is walking in the exact opposite direction of this settlement. I will say, Masozi is one of the larger and heavier members of the party, so picking them up will not be easy. And also, Masozi, how would you react if someone just picked you up from behind? You'd fight? Alright, that would be a contested strength dexterity check. Andromeda, roll athletics. Masozi, roll acrobatics or dexterity. Hey, you there! Yes, you! Now, pay the time or pay with your life. Alright, what did y'all get? Yes. Masozi, you put up the good fight, but Andromeda is just like, we've got places to be and things to do. You're coming, like a parent who spent far too long at Disneyland. A 19. Masozi got a 19. So Andromeda's like a parent who's just, huh? Yeah. Yeah, you can. There's two of Masozi, but one of them is kind of like a shimmering gray, and that one is in Andromeda's arms. Yeah. It it's like you're holding something made out of ice without it being cold. Well, with that natural 20, Andromeda's just like confused, unaware, unaffected. Let me check. Do you get the sense that as you walk? All right. Same thing, just a higher DC, dexterity plus proficiency. Yeah, no, you're pulling it off quite well. Roll a wisdom check for me. You're doing this and you're starting to do some like flourishes and you're showing off, and there's this thing in your memory You showed this off to someone before. Who was it? Who were you showing this off to? Why were you showing off to that person? And this question sticks in your mind. And you almost dropped the dagger, but with a 19, you managed to bring yourself back to the moment and save the trick. Yes, you can. Yeah. Dexterity. Yeah, it's dexterity. Yeah, I'll say with proficiency. Because you're a rogue. You are like, you're so caught up and you're like, oh, you want to see a trick, Venator? Watch this. You toss the knife up and you go to grab it and it just stabs through your hand. Like, you're making direct eye contact with Venator as your hand is out to catch it, and it just stabs. And there's this moment before you react. And you take one point of piercing damage. It's like right in the palm of your hand. It hurts a lot. I want to know how you help the hand. Do you just walk up and take the knife? So I'll allow that. So from Mike's perspective, you're like looking at this blade and you're like, okay, I probably need, and then the big silent masked figure walks up and just pulls the knife out, which hurts, and then this figure puts her other hand on yours and the pain goes away. They shake your hand, and when they pull their hand back, your wound has closed. Yeah, Mike is calling for his knife back. Well, you're walking down a mountain. You have a bit of a hike to do. Could I have someone roll me a D100 just for fun? Andromeda. Roll me a D100. Yeah, no, they aren't the easiest dice to read, but you know, random encounters are fun, aren't they not? $88. All right. You were saying? You, I'm gonna have to double check the ability. Give me just a second. Yeah, so I'll allow you, if you want to roll an insight check, you can determine whether or not a specific creature is undead, fey, or fiend. Who are you be doing it on, though? Yes. Yes, you can. 18. You get the sense that Andromeda is kind of undead. Not quite undead, more of brought back to life. There is a difference. There is some sort of undeath about her, but not to any extent of, well, actually being undead. It's like a scent on her. Interesting. That's cool over here. Yes, you do. All right. Mike, since you have the highest passive perception in the party, you notice there's movement down below you as you're making your way down the mountain. Some talking and chittering and some sounds as well, movements of several figures beneath you. Yes, you do see him stop. Now, around this time, Mike would notice. I'll have you roll a perception check, actually. Yes. The sound doesn't seem to be there anymore. Maybe you just heard something. Understandable. me just... Do you continue forward? Let's see. What is there? As you start continuing down the path, you notice two goblins. One of which is kind of doing that thing where they're trying to hide behind a tree, but the tree is a lot thinner than they are. And the other one is kind of like looking around in a panic, realizing he doesn't have anywhere to hide before he just locks eye contact with you. Ah! He just yells at you, and the other goblins jump out. Four others you hadn't seen from other hiding places jump out, wielding weapons in a semi-surrounding your group. There's a big one wielding a scimitar, and he kind of looks at the lobby and says, Give us your thingies. Give us all your thingies. Thingies, stuff, shinies. That's not happening. Roll initiative. And post your initiatives in the chat. Alright, don't tell me, post it in chat. Yeah. Any chat. No, please. General. No, don't you dare. Please, I beg of you. Rolly, who has the higher dex? Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, there's so many memes. Oh, so many gifs. Why do you guys post so many gifs? Okay. I'm just gonna put... so many numbers to write down. And Andromeda. Alright. These goblins are semi-surrounding you in a circle, and they've yelled out to attack since you're not giving them any of your things. One of them is rather quick on the draw, and he attempts to he's kind of standing in the back, so he's going to try to throw a javelin at the biggest and scariest figure, which is going to be Andromeda. Oh no. Does a 21 hit you, Andromeda? Does a 21 beat your armor class? Does a 21 beat your armor class? Yeah. As you're kind of standing, you're a bit confused. They just yell to attack. And all of a sudden, there's this javelin stabbing into your shoulder for 5 points of piercing damage, as one of the goblins looks incredibly pleased with himself for having made that throw. But, Mike, it's now your turn. Mike? Yeah, it's you. You're next. Oh, okay, I didn't miss you. Oh, wrong chat. Okay. Okay. Sorry I missed that. You're going. You can make yourself get within range easily enough. All right. That will hit him, yes. Six? Okay. And let me just do the math real quick. Alright. Perfect. You slash into him, and he tries to bring a shield he's wearing up, but it's not fast enough, and you kind of cut around the shield and pull back, ready for another strike. Dealing a good chunk of damage to him, but he is still standing. You notice he looks to be... He is the bigger one that tried to demand items of all of you at first. Now that you're looking at him, he's wearing sort of rusted chain and a splintered shield. A lot more than the others are wearing. Mike, now it is your turn. Yes. Alright. You'll get sneak attack, but not advantage. Yeah, that hits. $20 piercing damage. How do you want to do this? Yes. So you, as Venator stands imposing in front of him, sword in hand, him just cut through him. Mike dashes to the side, and you short sword, you said? And holding a short sword kind of backwards like one would a dagger, you drive it down to this goblin's leg, almost cutting the leg in half at a steep angle. And you pull it to the side, and you just watch the goblin crumple over like a rotted tree as it bleeds out. The other goblins suddenly lose their glee and excitement at the fight, and they now look a little concerned, but they don't have enough time to react. Marcosi, what would you like to do? There are 5 left. 1 just died. Yeah, you can easily get within range of 1. easily enough. Yes. In touch range. Alright, yeah. You can. You touch a creature within range. And I believe you have advantage if the target's wearing metal. Yes, you still have to roll to attack. This would be spell attack, I'm going to say. $16? Yeah, that hits, actually. No, I don't think so. Not for shock and grasp, at least. That's a 4. But that has thoroughly shocked one of the goblins quite thoroughly. Like, he's glancing over at his boss who just started like, eh, what? And he looks over and you just place your hands on his shoulders and electrocute him with malice in your eyes. Gora. Misozi would be the next character player next. It's either touch or yes. You were all traveling in a group, so yeah. I believe that is your action. Only if they have a casting time of bonus action. Most don't. You are semi-surrounded, so you're kind of moving to the center more. Yes. Now, the goblin that just got shocked, he kind of just panics and starts swinging his little scimitar wildly in your direction, Marcosi. But does a 18 hit per chance? It should hit. All right. He swings wildly, but one of these cuts catches you in the side and just goes just beneath your ribs and goes in fairly deep and deals 8 points of slashing damage before he pulls back, looking at the blood on his scimitar and the wound, and he seems a bit more confident now that he knows that these terrifying enemies can be injured, blood can be drawn. He will. It is now Misozi's turn. You are invisible. You will have advantage on your next attack. Roll me a stealth check with advantage, just because. Stealth check with advantage, because you is invisible. 13. Yeah. None of them seem to be following your movement as you invisibly step outside of their little attempted ambush circle. And you now stand behind these goblins. With advantage, make that roll. $17, that will hit. Roll damage. Yes. 3 slashing. Like the villain out of a slasher movie, Misozi disappears from the group and moments later appears behind one of the goblins, axe raised, as you bring it down across their back and cuts down the one Marcosi had electrocuted. Watching as his body falls, and you turn your head and look at the other goblins. You're visible now. No, you're visible. Yeah. Like I said, like the villain of a slasher film, you raise your axe to attack and you kind of appear as you slash down. Andromeda. Do you have a bonus action? Oh. Yes, you can command your echo to attack as a bonus action. I do remember that. So, you want to tackle, not kill? Yes. So you want to tackle it instead of killing it. Roll an athletics check. Ooh. Yeah, no, this goblin just saw you appear, so it's not even comprehending when your echo just football tackles it from the side and starts pinning its arms so it can't move. And he's starting to try and squirm, but it's like holding on to a fish, but you have both your hands just gripping it, and he's not going anywhere. Now it's Andromeda's turn. Andromeda? Oh no. Oh fuck. No, it's even worse. It's my internet that died.
Can you hear me over chat?
No, my internet just went out.
So our internet went out.
So our internet went out. Fuck. Probably because of the damn storm.
There's a storm?
There's a storm.
Irritation.
I'm gonna turn the lights on. Yeah, don't open my DIY stuff.
I do like what I've been drawing on. This is going to be another Angora being like, well, I may be drawing, but it will not help you.
Okay, I think it's reconnected. Hello, hi, internet died. I'm back.
I'm gonna try and connect my
Yeah, no, the internet just went out for a little bit. I'm really sorry about that. It's back now. Yo, guess whose internet also died? Quinn's. Yay! Yay, we're all back. Yeah, no, sorry about that. It's not even my fault. Why am I apologizing? That's besides the point. I believe my internet died before Andromeda's turn. So, it's you did tackle the goblin. It was very successful. Goblin is tackled. It is now Andromeda's turn. Andromeda can do with the, there are 4 goblins, wait. Well, yeah, there are 4 goblins left, and one of them is restrained. One of them did get killed. 2 of them, but one of them got murdered, yes. The one that attacked you is still alive. He got... Yeah. Wait, no, never mind. He is dead. I forgot to mark that down because Mike did so much damage with that sneak attack. So there are only you turn the one that threw at you, you see him die, so you just snap your attention to the one closest to you and he's like, ah! So banish her. Well, no, you can summon your Warhammer and it does 1d8, I believe. So this, yeah, you're going to be using both hands, I think. So it's 2d6, I think. I don't remember. I would check the stat block for it. Where did I put my... You are using the Warhammer, so that means you're going to be doing 1d10 because you're using both hands as this spectral hammer materializes in your hands. And roll to attack this poor little goblin, this poor little level 1 goblin. Roll a d20 to see if you hit first. Yeah. That will hit. That will indeed strike the goblin true. Now the 1d10 plus your strength. Gotten left. I'm curious, how do you want to end this poor little level 1 goblin's life? 7. How do you want to do this? Just because it's funny. So Andromeda does a swing, and like you get ready to swing again, and you realize the body's not moving. And there's like a brief moment of you're watching the body, and you're like, oh, what? Huh. You feel no emotions as you watch the dead body of the goblin. It's just a dead body. Let's see. So that is 1 goblin dead. There's a goblin that's restrained. He's going to try and escape, but he doesn't. He just doesn't. He's still restrained. The other 2 goblins sort of like look at each other, look at the group, look at each other, and they just run. They scatter into the rocky mountains. Except for the one that is strained. He's still squirming and he's freaking out. And he's like, no, please don't kill me. No, please. I don't have anything. It was all big guy's idea. It wasn't me. I was just here. I just wanted shiny things. Okay, please don't kill me. Shiny things? Roll intimidation with advantage. Yeah, sure. Initiative's over. Yeah, no, with what you said, he effectively just freezes. He's like, ah, my eyes? Mike, you find, like, among the corpses, a grand total of maybe 3 copper pieces, a very strange looking rock that is completely natural. It's just like a piece of limestone, but it looks funky. And the big one had rusty chainmail on him, a rusty chain shirt and a broken shield, along with a worn scimitar. Okay, write down funky rock, and that's what you have. Yeah. Roll an attack just because you have advantage because it's restrained. $24? Yeah. Roll damage. Just I just want to see 5 slashing. You don't kill him in one swing. Yeah, yeah, you know what, I'll let that, yeah, no, you start letting him bleed out. And now there's just the one, yeah, no, he's dead. Angora, you're standing as you watch this happen. Mike and Venator, can I have you both roll wisdom throws? Just Mike and Venator. Yeah. Just a wisdom. Dirty 20, 14. You do get the feeling, you don't know, it's just I don't know. You're watching this and you're like, maybe this isn't the best way to do things. But they were goblins, they tried to attack us. Gore, you feel absolutely no negative emotions whatsoever. Marcosi is indifferent, and Mizozi, you're just actually kind of proud of yourself because you know, no one died. You protected everyone. You protected yourself. Andromeda, there is a small fire within you that is rekindled. Small fire within you rekindles just for a moment. Yeah. Now, does anyone else in the group, because you do notice this, how far off are you wandering? All right, the group does notice this, but find a dirty rag shirt. It looks to be made out of... Yeah, there's like, what, 3 of them? One of the goblins, I'm going to say, because you continue to search, one of the goblins has a weird beetle shell in their pocket. That's about it. One of the goblins has Quinn's mother. Medicine check, yes. You can, I will say, there will be consequences if you fail. You don't... It's in a tricky spot to try and self-bandage. Because one hand is an awkward... You just... You end up hurting yourself. Yeah, too high up. It's a bother. It's a pain. You do hurt yourself a little bit more. You take 1 point of damage. You do fail. Yeah. I'm gonna say that all of this happened before anyone could help, specifically because Marcosi walked out of eyeshot of everyone. It's not... I'm going to say perception to try and figure out where Marcosi went. It's not too high. Yeah, sure, if you want to. What did you get, Andromeda? Yeah, both of you see where you more of hear Marcosi as Marcosi is swearing to himself in Marquesian and Elvish, trying to fix it. Swearing it off, yeah. As and you see Marcosi sitting with his back against a rock, trying to. What language do you use? Yeah, Marcosi. So Marcosi points a knife at you and says one word, which you don't quite understand, but you get the gist of leave. That's right. Do you want to roll an insight check, Marcosi? Alright. You're just confused. No, he's dead. Mazozi slit his throat and let him bleed out. That was the same one. Elbows you in the side. Lightning. Yes. It was closer to. It was closer to you, Lace, than it was to me. Oreo and Zippy hide. Emeric is a small, light brown teddy bear with button eyes. It's like alright. Activates the serotonin. It's been so long. Gora, roll a medicine check. Alright, you managed to heal 4 points of damage as you close up the wound. That's all you'll be able to heal. Because there's no healers in the party, what I'm going to rule is those of you who are proficient in medicine get to heal 1d4 hit points of a successful check. If you're not proficient, you heal 1 hit point for a successful medicine check. And that's it takes a bit more than an action, so you can't do it in combat. But that's how I'm going to be doing healing until we get magic items or potions or healing abilities in the party. So, everyone's kind of spread. Right now, there are 2 groups. There's Andromeda looking at Gora healing Marcosi, and then there's everyone else with Mike poking at the bodies and Masozi appreciating their handiwork with letting a goblin breathe out. Which Andromeda is returning to. Yes. You just can't get your alone time. Zippy and Oreo will help. And they do succeed. Yes. At this point, you're not even searching them anymore. You're kind of like tapping them with your foot as you walk in a little like circle, ignoring the one in the center. Just waiting for everyone to decide to move on. Yeah, I'll allow that. Roll me one nature check and one survival check. Let me know how those turn out. Sorry, perception, not survival. Perception. Should be the same though, I think. Okay, so you managed to find a good path, clean path down the mountain. No real dangers. It's not too bad. And for perception check, you're able to determine that there isn't likely to be anything else. And as you start reaching the hills, yes, it's rather close. You can probably reach it before the end of the day. Yeah, the echo, I think, dissipates by now. But, so you kind of are back with the group. And, that's so cute. Oh, it's adorable. That makes me almost not want to tear you apart emotionally. So you ask this question, Masozi, and Masozi starts making like hand gestures at you, and you're just you're not even looking at the hands at first, and you look down. Do you speak thieves' cant? You're busy with the teddy bear right now, but Mike, you glance over, and although it's not quite the same, it's like it's like two different Scandinavian languages trying to talk to each other. You understand because there are some hand signs and signals in thieves' cant that come out of hand signs. There is some crossover there, so you're able to pick out a few very basic phrasings here and there, and distance is one of those. Oh, that would be a nightmare. We have one person who's deaf, one person who's blind, one person who can't speak, one person with, like, probably... One person's a sociopath. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've got most mental disabilities covered here. Listen, it wouldn't be D&D if everyone had at least one neurodivergency. Anyway, do you continue? Then you continue forth. And so you continue forth, down, out of the mountains and into the, into the Truscan Vale, as it were to be referred to as. The hills here seem dead, is the best way to describe it. It almost seems a bit like Yellowstone, some of the volcanic formations there of discolored rock and barren stone, even when you are in the valley and away from the mountains. This entire place seems dead. But still, there's a settlement here. And as you get closer, you start seeing different groves and... Not groves. Groves is the wrong word. It is actually vineyards, it looks like. Sets of grape fields set in different crevices of the dirt, places where they seem to actually be growing, and workers tending to the plants, trimming and weeding and putting a lot more effort into keeping them alive. And that's before you even start reaching the town. The town itself seems very built for purpose. There's not a lot of beauty in it. It's mostly stone or bleached wood buildings. A lot of ramshackle housing and structures. There's not a lot of anything here besides living accommodations, it looks like. You would eventually yes, water can be found, not easily. There's a well in town, and there's also the Gemmed Hearth Inn. Looks to be an old mud-spattered warehouse built out of simple bland woods, and inside it has a couple tables and probably the fanciest thing you've seen since entering this town, a beautifully well-polished and carved bar. But you've finally found yourself inside civilization, although it does seem far removed from civilization as is. The Gemmed Hearth. Yes. All right. Currently, there's only one person inside, and that is this rather rotund, heavyset figure with kind of stubble across his face. He's a big, strong man, human, with short hair with a bald spot in the middle and lots of scars, just minor, small ones. And he's currently wiping something down, but he notices you when he comes in. He makes the nod and eye contact, acknowledging you. Why, hello. I haven't seen you around here before. You new? Ah. Well, welcome to Comorta. Well, that is a strange question. That can mean a lot of things. He kind of looks you over. Well, you're in this world called Exandria. Okay, so you're not that lost. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, you're in Comorta. Comorta, small little town at the edge of the Dwendalian Empire. He gives you this strange look. Well, it's on the in Wildmount, I think is what the place is called. What? Where are you from, sir, if I may ask? Huh. You get hit in the head recently? Would you remember if you got hit in the head recently? Would you remember if you got hit in the head recently? Oh, there you go. Oh. Well, that doesn't sound... Huh. Interesting. Oh, you do. Well, this is one of the best establishments this side of the Empire. I have ale, mead. There's water if you want it, but I don't recommend it. Warm soup. I have soup as well. Warm soup. Absolutely. That would be 1 gold. He has a bright smile on his face. Thank you for your patronage. I'll get that food right out to you. And pockets of gold and goes back to start ladling out some soup. Around this time, the bartender returns with a bowl of warm soup with kind of chunks in it. It looks brownish. And a wooden pint of mead. Here you go. Enjoy. Can I get anything for the rest of you? Small bowl of soup. Alright, yes, this isn't the, most hospitable place for water. We need to ration it. Sure can. Are you all lost in the same way? Yeah, I assume everyone's kind of filtered in at this point. I mean, he's thinking like this is the strangest group he's seen ever. Well, I'll get you some more. Let's see. 1 gold for you as well. One's 5 copper. It's intense. It's intense. Five. Yeah. Hand over. He gets you your soup. He gets you your soup, and Marcos, you get your glass of water. It if this was being sold as bottled water, it definitely have minerals added for taste like 3 times over. But this is just well water from the area. Glass of water, a bowl of mystery soup, and mead. There is meat, there is vegetables, and there is soup. Is it good? Is it bad? You don't know. It's soup, though. It's not even that. You get the inclination that this is like soup. That's it. Thank you. It's a family recipe. And you would notice that the bartender's kind of glancing side-eyed at Andromeda as Andromeda just kind of stands and watches. Yeah. Is that one drink for all 6 of you? He kind of leans in. I don't like your chances of her, but if you want to give it a shot, go ahead. 5 silver. Yeah, she's she reminds me of death. Two drinks, 1 gold. Hands you did. What are you trying to signal? You just like you hear Mike whispering and it's like, just act natural. It's fine. Have a drink, relax. The bartender already has 2 pints pushed forward. He's preparing a 3rd. You get buried in a cemetery. Alright. Would you say Andromeda can keep her alcohol? Okay, roll me a Constitution save. I just want to see. This is Andromeda's first time drinking alcohol, and she doesn't even know it. Constitution saving throw. What did you get? Yeah, you're like, you have one and you start feeling a little tipsy, and you like reach for the second one. And yeah, no, you're drunk. You're yeah, you're a lightweight. And now you get to decide what sort of drunk Andromeda is. There's like half a pint left. Yeah. Yeah, for you, Marcuzzi, the drink feels relatively light. You know, you could probably have half a dozen more. So... So you see Andromeda. Andromeda's kind of like standing there, and you see her making all these adjustments as she's like trying not to fall over. Yeah, there's one person. Yeah. How can I help you, sir? The bartender just has that look of like, yeah, no, what are you saying? Not along. Alright, let's see. You want rooms? Yeah, I got three, three sleeping rooms upstairs. One, well, I can give one room to you for, 3 silver. Thank you. And he pulls out a small, it's like a rusted steel key. It's probably older than the man is. Hands it over. It's the, I think that's the third one upstairs. Third one out back. Andromeda, roll a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage. Dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, Andromeda. 6? Oh, with disadvantage? Wow. You actually maintain your balance. As like you suddenly get grabbed by the arm and pulled, you're kind of making a game of staying upright by this point. So you start trying to drag Andromeda out, and Andromeda kind of teeters for a little bit before Andromeda just wraps first her arms around you, and then Andromeda's skeletal wings encompass you. And does Andromeda go full koala, or is it just the arms and wings? Arms and wings. And it kind of leans into you too, and you kind of starting to drag Andromeda. The feet aren't moving. It's a bit of a struggle to move someone who is actively fully wrapped around you and is not walking with you. But Masozi is... Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Masozi's got that confident swagger. When you enter the room, and it's like there's a small cot in one corner. It's a relatively small, bare bones room. It almost seems like it would be sinking into mud if this place was muddy. It's pretty poor quality. And you just do you think Andromeda could crawl? I think there's like 2 cots in here. That makes sense. Andromeda does like the roll. It's like you know when you're a kid and you're just trying to just crawl around. Yeah, Masozi, you're just like sitting there watching as Andromeda rolls out of the cot, thuds on the ground, and starts like army crawling towards the door. I want you to roll me a strength check, actually, because Andromeda is a big girl, you know. This is true. And Andromeda, roll me. Never mind. I don't think with disadvantage because you're drunk you'd be able to acrobatics your way out of this. So you gotta get thrown around like a sack of flour back into the cot. And then you kind of roll over and you see Masozi is now sitting in front of the door. Let me... There's like a small window that has yeah. There's like I'd say there's like a small-ish window that has like a curtain in it, and when you open it, there's no glass. It's like one of those. Roll me a. Yes, you are watching. The room is small. There is nothing for Andromeda to hide behind. Roll me an acrobatics check of disadvantage, Andromeda. What do you get? Yes. Your drunk little mind devises a plan. A perfect plan. With no problems whatsoever. You slowly sit up and you look over at Masozi and you're like, yes, I can do this. And you just run and jump out the window. Like you break... I'm gonna... Yeah, it's already in motion and you can't do it as a reaction. I will say. Like Andromeda full on pencil dives out the window, breaking the little like crossbeam that's usually in a window, and tumbles outside. You hear a piece of wood break. And you hear some thoughts. You hear some like Andromeda drunkenly being like, "But I wanna do things." No, what does drunk Andromeda sound like? I want to be free. And then you hear this like, thud. Yeah, roll an acrobatics check. You're not at disadvantage. Just roll an acrobatics check. Dirty 20? Yeah, you like jump out, tuck and roll. Very professionally. Andromeda. He's giving chase. Imagine Andromeda making that sound. Are we... Alright. Meanwhile, with everyone else, while this is... Yeah. What was it? My name's Carrie. Carrie Darman. Yeah, I can get you some more. Alright, well, 5 silver on the stores. $5 silver for that too. You get your ale, and he puts the key in front of Mike. Second run out back. The soup is still there. Yeah, yeah. A room, I heard you talking. Yes, 5 silver. I'll hand you the key. It's the first one out back. I sold all my rooms tonight. That's new. Venator looking at his ale. Wait a second. Fuck. Three. It's around this time that Andromeda runs back in, being chased by Masozi. Gora, make a medicine check. Or a wisdom check. Your choice. Yeah, I imagine Andromeda is just like in a corner. Just... Yeah, like that. That's exactly what Andromeda's right. She's like a little kitten. She's like, I just want you guys to like me. I'm sorry. What did you roll, Gora? And what were you rolling? Medicine? Thinking about it, you are fairly confident people won't explode because of alcohol. There's a dozen other things that alcohol does to the human body that should be worried about. Explosions are not one of them, but like, alcohol poisoning and liver failure, and there's a whole list you're not running through. Nat 20s are not always successes. So, as Andromeda's in the corner, just kind of like doing that drunk sobbing of, guys, I just want us all to be friends and work together and help a goddess, please. Can we just work together, please? Masozi straight up picks Andromeda up and tosses Andromeda over Masozi's shoulder like a flour bag. Oh, you're doing bridal style? Okay. Just scoop. And I assume you start taking Andromeda back to your... Yep. I imagine Andromeda... And imagine Andromeda once again just hugs all the way into Miss OZ. This is the most emotions Andromeda has ever expressed in the past year. Is it time? Wait. 1, 2. The only people who haven't drunk are Misozi and Gora. Those are the only sober ones. So, the event passes and Andromeda is once again returned to her room. The sun is set by this time too. Has been trance. The trance under the bed. That sounds fair. Venador, what do you do? Yeah. Sorry. Sold all out. You can talk to that, which was he again? You can talk to that, human fella I sold the key to. He should still have one room left. One bed left in his room. Yeah, each room has 2 beds. Yeah. Yeah. Second. You're all friends. Even better. Yeah. It opens inward. It opens inward. Do you want to drag the cot over? Okay. Okay. Okay, that's fair. And you all go to sleep once more. Andromeda. As you go to sleep in a slightly drunken state, you open your eyes and you find yourself sitting at the head of a table during a bright summer day full of festivities. And this dream, sitting around this table, there's a bunch of people, and they're all wearing masks. Masks of wide, ear-to-ear smiles. And they're all looking at you, as if they're expecting something. What do you do? You don't have any coins on you, and as you look around, you try to put something on the table that's not quite right, and you feel like everyone's looking at you and expecting something of you, like everyone knows what you should do except for you. Everyone's in on some secret that you've been left out of. And they're all watching you. And you don't know how many there are, a dozen, maybe more. They're all watching you. You feel yourself stand up, probably to leave, and next to you, you haven't even noticed, there's another figure who kind of stands with you, and they look at you, and they also have this mask. It's not quite a mask now that you look at it. It's like your whatever face is there is blocked. You don't remember it. It's just there's a mask, this big fake smile of this person next to you, and there's this sense of betrayal. And then you wake up. It's deep into the night. Early signs of morning are coming in, and you're the first one awake. Your head hurts, probably from the alcohol, and Masozi is loosely wrapped around you at this point as they are fast asleep. Alright. You get out of bed. How light of a sleeper is Masozi? You kind of wake up as Andromeda moves your arm and crawls out of bed and opens the door and leaves. You're aware of all that. I'll let you roll an insight check on this one. I mean, I will say, even without the insight check, you can tell that this movement is different than Drunk Andromeda darting here and two. It's sort of a more slow and somber movement. What's your insight check? What's your insight check? Yeah, you just woke up and you see Andromeda leave the room. Like when you're awake. So Andromeda, you leave the room, you enter the main tavern area. It's completely empty. Yeah, you. The cool morning air is refreshing. And a few moments later, the door bursts open behind you, and Masozi, like, kind of breathing a bit heavy, is just looking at you. Like, ready to tackle, ready to dodge, ready to block. Leaving. How long do you stay outside Andromeda? The sun is starting to rise slowly. You what? That's very important. And slowly the sun rises and everyone else wakes up their own uneventful nights. What did you say? Well, you wake up last. But I do think that's where we'll end the session today. Yes, that's good progress. No, it's not uninspired. You were inspired, unless like you looked at fan art of Molly without realizing it. Yeah, no, it's not uninspired because you were inspired and then you just happened to make something similar. It's what inside. It's the emotional turmoil inside that counts. Yeah, so I'm going to stop that recording.